Hi. Okay, today the name of the session is Do Miracles Exist? Do they have any explanation? What does the word miracle mean? The dictionary defines it as an event that cannot be explained by natural laws and is attributed to supernatural intervention of divine origins, such as deity, a saint, a religious leader. Etymologically, the word miracle is linked to the amazement before the ineffable. So it can also refer to an extraordinary event. On many occasions, it becomes a supernatural fact in which the love of God towards human beings is manifested, and it is said that it is only granted for reasons that escape the intellect of the human being and that are located in the same mystery of God. So, what does it take a miracle? Now, what does it take for a miracle to happen? Many will answer prayer, and that is true. However, how many times do you pray even for prayer chains and a miracle does not happen? Have you ever wondered why? Then what is required to pray? You will surely answer faith. And yes, so I ask you, what is faith? It is believing that someone can help us, or it is being certain that things will happen. However, having all this, the miracle still does not happen. Most likely because fear, disbelief, or even placing trust in some material object blocks the manifestation of what you desire. It is necessary to believe that the impossible is possible, to trust without question, and to be convinced of that which is not seen. What other factors can intervene? I would say the words you use to request, since most of the time you use words that instead of focusing on what you want, take you away from the objective. The way you do it is paramount. It is not about begging for something to happen, so that your request does not go as far as you want it to, but being thankful because that something happens. The emotion and intention you put into your request and is something that comes from the heart. If you want someone's help or your own, it is to see that someone or you are completely healthy. If you want prosperity and money, it is to see the success manifested in you. The latter requires learning several more factors. The time you do it, believe it or not, also influences. It is better to do it when it is about to dawn or in the first minutes of dusk. Why do you think that those who meditate usually do it in the first hours of the morning before dawn? And finally, the most important thing from my point of view is to be certain that it will happen. Can we be miracle workers? The answer is yes, of course. A moment ago, I mentioned that if you want to have prosperity and money, you need a series of other things. And so it is. You need to work on your attachments, completely stop making judgments, and have granted forgiveness to every person in your life and your past to the point of not having to forgive anymore simply because the other person in front of you is the same as you are. It is necessary to set aside limiting beliefs. Why do I know this? Simply because life was giving me lessons that I learned and analyzed until I came to live the magic that I currently live in my life, full of small and big miracles in my day-to-day life. And many of them, I don't even need to ask for them anymore. He who knows everything is the one who grants them to me. That is why I created my course, The Art of Manifesting Your Dreams and Living the Life You Want. Does it work? Yes, of course. If you work on everything I teach you, and what is important, if you practice it in your day by day. Because imagine that to generate miracles, you need a muscle. And this muscle needs to be trained and toned through the constancy of applying the knowledge and the discipline of practicing daily until you master the art. Because that it is. Generating miracles is an art. At this point, the word miracle no longer has its definition of an unexplainable fact. On the other hand, there is also the placebo effect, which is the result or effect that a placebo produces in a person's organism. Numerous experiments have been carried out in various hospitals around the world where a certain number of people are taken. Some are given the real medicine, and the others are only given a pill without the active substance. In the end, the number of people who showed improvement of cure in each group is statistically determined, and this is how the importance and influence of the mind on the body has been determined based on a belief. Some time ago, an event happened in Mexico where it was discovered that children with cancer were not being administered real chemotherapy, but only water. The culprit was persecuted. However, it serves as an example of the placebo effect because all those children that was a percent, because of all those children that was a percentage that was cured and another that died. What was the influence of those who were cured despite not having the drug but only the water? Well, one of the answers is the belief or certainty that they were receiving the active substance. All those cases of healing were surely determined as miracles since there was no scientific explanation. Although, as you can see, there was one. There are many cases of people who are cured of illness thanks to their beliefs by experiencing the hope of staying alive, which lowers the levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and raises the levels of dopamine. a situation that generates changes in biochemistry of the organism. Albert Einstein says, there are two ways of living life. One, as if nothing is a miracle, the other, as if everything is a miracle. Generally, human beings do not appreciate the good things that happen to them, so they do not give thanks to them either. It is essential that you develop your capacity for observation and awareness of everything that happens in your world every day. Appreciate every moment you breathe, or be attentive to the harmonious beating of your heart. See the beauty present in every manifestation of nature. Be moved by the sensitivity of another. All this is usually taken for granted and consequently goes unnoticed in before eyes. I want to tell you about the case of a girl with a blood disease since birth and who supposedly suffered from it from the rest of her life, always having to receive medication as well as frequent blood tests. This case was told by a teacher of mine when I studied the specialty of decoding the illness. Obviously, the girl was cured through the, because the mother worked with her emotions. I recently had a case of a possible diagnosis of lupus, very similar to what I just told you. I have other examples, two outstanding ones are a diagnosis of breast cancer and another of prostate cancer. In both cases, a biopsy would be done to confirm the diagnosis and set a date for surgery. They came to me between the diagnosis and the biopsy. They did the conscious work, and the result was that in both cases, the biopsy was negative. Can a similar diagnosis in both cases occur again in the future? Yes. The solution: transform the way of living life. To achieve this, I accompany you to learn how to do it through my therapies, and I teach you to forget to remember through my course. What I teach is what I did in 14 years of being in search, and that subsequently I received instructions to share and guide others in their way. To end this session, I would like to repeat to you the beautiful paragraph from A Course in Miracles. If the mind can heal the body and the body cannot heal the mind, then the mind must be stronger than the body. Every miracle is a demonstration of this. Remember that I am here for you. If you have any doubt or questions, you may find me through my Facebook and Instagram, Le Cabinet de Sylvie profiles, my site, www.lecabinetdesylvie.com, and my email, vidalbetancourt@hotmail.com. I will write all this information below the video. Help others and share this video. Also, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you will know when there is a new video. Also remember, when things are done with love, you can only generate miracles. I invite you to live from love. Do it always from your heart. Ciao. I see you in the next